Oh shit, almost broke. All right. Splash. Now that you know how my eyes be.
We are back. Welcome to the Shootaround, everybody. The only podcast which downgrades its schedule when a host drops out. I'm very sorry for that. As is tradition, we're going to kick off with a little bit of apologies. I'm sorry that we did not podcast last week. It's been a good 12, 13 days. Hope everyone is doing well, whether that be on the stream, listening at home, wherever it is. Someone's got a baby here.
That's true.
Yeah. I have a son now.
How's that?
I have a son now. As of this is some breaking news I can give you guys. Actually, as of literally 45 minutes ago, you know what I did for the first time? I tried breast milk. I did it. You guys can all facepalm if you want. Like we're not all unison. Fucking like. And I gotta tell you something. So I tried it, and I say to her, I'm like, I start laughing, and I'm like, you're not gonna believe me if I tell you what I actually just thought about that. And she's like, you did not fucking like it. And I was like, it's not bad. It's really not at all. And I said, if it wasn't for taking food out of his mouth, I would go back for a second swig out of that bottle right now. But he's a hungry boy. He's growing. So I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to take away nourishment from him. Breast milk is good, though. It's literally just like milk with a lot of water in it. I thought it would taste weirder than that. I thought it would be like unpasteurized, like almond milk. And it's fine. It tastes good. So
tell me folks, it doesn't come out like cottage cheese.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Why would you say that? Why would you?
It doesn't.
That?
Just, do you know how many people just clicked off?
Like I said, we are back. Welcome to the Shootaround, everybody. Getting right into the apologies. Again, I am sorry for not uploading last week. Nick, no need to apologize for your breast milk confession. That's real. That's what podcasting is for. But I believe
that's what it's all about.
Pre-pod, you said you had something you want to throw into the top of the show.
I got to apologize to Rudy, man, because I tuned into one of the shows that you guys did while I was gone, and I turned it off after 2 minutes because something happened that really bothered me.
Oh, no.
I left Rudy up here all by himself to do a great reference and a great impression of Jim Mora's playoffs. And these two motherfuckers to my left had no idea what you were talking about. They don't know about Jim Mora. So, Rudy, I just wanted to apologize to you. I understood the reference. I appreciated it. I was devastated that I wasn't here to gas you for it. But it bothered me so much that, unfortunately, I did turn the show off.
That's real as hell. I really appreciate that. Frankly, these two deserve it. That's why it's like locked into the ticker down here while we're in the playoffs. It's just all caps playoffs. You know,
playoffs?
That's a legendary clip. That's like peak Sports Center before like the LeBron and Tebow era. You know,
right.
That's what it was all about.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
It was that, and then it was Mike Gundy being like, "I'm a man. I'm 40," and like there are so many iconic football like press conference, and Jim Mora's playoffs is on the Mount Rushmore. So I apologize.
We thought they were.
Exactly. There's another one. There's another one.
Same room as
I know that one.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the NFL or football or nothing. So
I think playoffs is the equivalent to Allen Iverson's practice.
It's the same picture. .jpg. 100%.
Same cadence. That's in playoffs. Practice.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a Venn diagram, and it's not even a Venn diagram. It's just the same shit, but through different vehicles. So, Rudy, it was a good reference, and let's have a good show today.
Hell yeah, Nick. I appreciate you apologizing to me on behalf of these idiots and for yourself leaving the stream earlier. That being said, we do have a little bit of a more somber note to go on, as one of our fortunate co-host here, or unfortunate I should say, has had a team eliminated from the playoffs, and we thought it would only be appropriate to eulogize the season of the number one seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. Alex, the music should cue any second now. There it is.
Oh my god, he can't handle it.
What?
Okay, it was broken for a second.
Bring your mic in a little bit. I think
you're fine.
Bring my mic. Okay, is this better?
You're good. You're good. It glitched.
What a great start.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Listen, I just hope they learn their lesson, because I don't know what they expected rolling out there without like a backup center. And as long as Josh Giddey's traded, I'm happy. Get that dude off my team.
I can't imagine someone dying. It's the person eulogizing them said, I hope they learned their lesson.
Well, they didn't die. They just got knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but the 2024
Their season's dead. Their season's dead, you know?
Well, if that's what it takes, for them to learn their lesson, then ultimately it's a good thing, because I don't know how they expect to, make a deep playoff run.
Can I ask you a question, Alex? Do you think that if the rotation made more sense, if you guys had like Andre Drummond even off of the bench, do you feel like that would have made the difference between, what happened and not? Maybe you'd be in the Western Conference Finals? Or do you think it was probably going to go that way either way?
My complaint is the Josh Giddey stuff, where like Daignault finally started playing him less and
shouldn't have played him at all.
Bench. Yeah, shouldn't have played him at all. I think if that happened sooner and more like aggressively, to the extent that like you just don't play him at all, I think that makes a big difference. A lot of guys miss just open shots, which is a problem. But I mean, I'm not saying Andre Drummond means that they make it to the Western Conference Finals, but it was the problem was not that they didn't have a backup center, or the problem isn't that they couldn't get rebound. It was that like they couldn't even try. They didn't have the personnel to even try. Like, yes, they have Bismack Biyombo. Is anyone seriously expecting him to go out here in 2024 to,
we love Busy around here, but no.
Grizzlies legend.
Great, I love him. He was a great vibes guy. Gordon Hayward was being a little baby in the press conference. Dude couldn't hit his open threes, and he's talking about, oh, why didn't I get more playing time? I'll tell you why, Gordon. How about you hit a spot up three? How about you make a layup?
Think about the way you said Gordon there. I'll tell you, Gordon.
So all that being said, good riddance to a lot of the.
I don't think Gordon Hayward did anything. I don't think I thought anything when Gordon Hayward was in the game other than, oh, hey, it's Gordon Hayward.
Yep, and
that's all that was accomplished.
That's all he was.
He was there, and he was Gordon Hayward. Mission accomplished.
So, Alex, my question to you then becomes: I haven't had a Thunder fan explain this to me yet, and have it make an ounce of goddamn sense. So, if you can't do it, then I'm right. Okay, so this is the last. If you can't explain this to me, then I'm just right. If I'm Oklahoma City and I'm at the trade deadline, I go back in time like 3 months, and I see Dallas go after Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. And I'm Oklahoma City, and I'm like, hey, we have more shit to give away than anybody in the league. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do nothing at the trade deadline. Now, the argument can be, well, they're top 3 in the West. What do they have to do? Well, now we know, to your own point, that if they had like a Daniel Gafford or a PJ Washington, does it change this series? So, and especially for those two dudes to go to a competitor, right, in Dallas. So do you look back in retrospect and think, oh, shit, we're kind of dumb for not doing anything at all at the trade deadline?
We're not dumb, because I wanted them to do stuff at the trade deadline. The front office was dumb for it. I mean, I don't know if any other Thunder fan was, if other Thunder fans were saying that they were right for not making moves. I disagree with those Thunder fans vehemently. I think sitting on your hands and being like, well, let's see what we have. We don't know. We might have enough to make a deep playoff run. So let's just stand idly by and do nothing. It's
right, because very famously,
morons.
Exactly. Very famously, the West is going to get worse over the next few years. So Oklahoma City's window is totally fine. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is, 26. I mean, hey, whatever. The opportunity to be the 1 seed in the West surely will happen again for Oklahoma City in the future. In a season where they were overachieving, it is. Oh, go ahead, Jacob. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to let you finish, but just like 2012, how they're going to be right back in the finals.
Exactly. So
I'll leave the podcast right now. I'll leave. Don't do that again.
He said, "How dare you bring up my scars from my childhood?"
Oh man. Anyways.
Yeah. So
Nick, do you want to finish what you were going to say? I didn't mean to cut
I don't remember even what I was saying.
Oh, my bad.
To be honest, I don't know.
I feel like the not making a move thing was kind of like the mentality that you should have had last season bleeding into this one, where like I feel like when you're at different stages, you have different levels of expectations for how you operate as a franchise. And like, I feel like they didn't believe enough in the notion that they are a true contender to make those moves like they're a contender, which is crazy because they're just sitting on a pot of gold right now. And like, look, I get that you're trying to make sure you save that for the best possible payday, and that's the right move. But also, you can throw around one of the 400 first-round picks that you have for genuinely good playoff rotation players. And you could talk about this series very differently as a result. Even just Dallas, you met Gafford and PJ. It's also that Dallas doesn't have Gafford and PJ now. Although Gafford, I'm not liking him after that game one, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, I mean,
no, he was terrible in game one of the Timberwolves.
Even in this series, it doesn't matter if he's bad in this series because you just stop playing him. But in last series, obviously, it's like a matchup nightmare for OKC.
Right.
And that's really ultimately my problem is I think the Thunder looked at this entire situation and they were probably a little bit high on their own supply, saying, hey,
Absolutely.
We're doing something that no team is doing. We don't run traditional lineups. We're playing pretty much small ball all the time. Even though, like, yes, I get they have length. I understand that. They have a lot of skilled length, but they don't have a traditional center. And Chet, I love Chet. I think he's great. I think he's going to be able to play the 5 long term. I don't have any concerns about that. But he is not a traditional 5. And I think Daignault and Presti were sitting there saying, we might be able to just do this thing. We might revolutionize basketball right here. Look at us. We're doing pretty dang good, huh? And then, lo and behold, you run into one good team that has 2 good centers, and all of a sudden, you can't get a rebound. All of a sudden, you give up 1 billion second chance points. All of a sudden, Derrick Jones Jr. is hitting 55% of his threes. PJ Washington shooting 55% from 3. It's like, yeah. Turns out you do need to abide by traditional basketball principles where you do need somebody that can actually set screens. You do need someone that can actually throw lobs. Like, yeah, those are normal parts of basketball that have been around for 30, 40, 50, 60 years at this point. There's a reason for that. You can't just do something and expect it to work. If there's like the idea of going into this expecting to have like a proof of concept, it's like, no, you're taking a very big risk here by not having a backup plan. And that's my biggest frustration is the Thunder just didn't have a backup plan. They ended up in this situation. It's like, well, this was our only option. So we're stuck to it now. And now they're out of the playoffs.
So let's do a little mental exercise here as we go into the offseason for Oklahoma City. Alex, you are currently Sam Presti. Okay. And I might have a follow-up mental exercise to this, but we'll see how this first one goes. And you're looking at your roster top to bottom. You've already said that Josh Giddey needs to go. So, okay, if we're talking about a chopping block for Oklahoma City and how we can maybe retool this thing, you're probably putting Josh Giddey at number 1. What can we do with it? Maybe not the most valuable, but if you want him out of there, sure, you can put him at number 1. Give me like the next 2 or 3 guys after that that are expendable and you're hoping to cash in.
I mean, it depends on what you're getting.
Well, there's That's one name that I don't want to say because it's a pretty
is it Lou Dort?
Provocative. Yeah, Lou Dort.
Here's my okay.
Oh yeah.
Dog. Everybody get out of the way. Alex, this is me and you. Okay. I'm Troy Weaver. You are Sam Presti. Okay. Bring. Hey, Sam. Tough season for you guys, but you guys are gonna come back around. We got this draft coming up, and we're looking to move this pick. I'm letting you know right now, you can have whatever you want. But it starts with the 5th pick. We want Lou Dort. What else do you need?
Lou Dort.
I'm going to call you back. I'm going to put you on hold. Stay on the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call up the Wizards GM. And I'm going to say,
Rudy.
Hey.
Rudy or Jacob, someone pick up the phone.
Hello, it's Washington.
Hey, so I'm on the phone with Troy Weaver, and he's saying that he'll give me the 5th pick for Lou Dort. I was curious if maybe we could say you give us Tyus Jones,
Jordan Poole,
and you'll get the 5th pick.
Tyus
and then
Jones.
we'll throw in whatever picks. We'll throw in whatever other picks we need to make this happen. What do you say?
I gotcha. I'm down because we're gonna lose Tyus in free agency this season if we don't sign him, trade him, right?
Is he a free agent?
I'm bad at my job. I'm in Washington.
Sure he's signed, buddy.
Yeah, I think he's on a long-term
job. I'm a wizard.
Okay, well, I'll call you back.
I already hung up.
Hey, sorry for leaving you on hold.
You're good, man.
You're gonna send that 5th pick to the Wizards, and we'll send you Lou Dort, and we're gonna get Tyus Jones. Sound good?
Let me put you on hold really quick. I gotta call the Wizards. Bring, bring, bring.
How long is this going?
What? Hello?
Hey, so Presty just let me know that we got a framework for a 3-way deal here. Now that you guys are in on the mix here, I just wanted to do a little temperature check on Kuz, see if there's anything else we could throw in to kind of sweeten the pot for you here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're already getting the 5th pick. I mean, it's you can't have Cade. What else? What do you want though?
Give me Duren for Kuz, straight up.
So we're going to be shelling out the 5th pick and Duren.
This is a disaster.
We're getting Lou Dort and Kyle Kuzma.
And then you're sending Jones is somehow involved.
And you're sending Tyus to Oklahoma City.
That's how this seems to be going down. Hold on. Let me put you on hold.
I think the Wizards are getting fleeced right now.
I'm doing that deal. I'm doing that deal. Alex, the reason I brought all of this up is because I was listening. I think it was Bill and Russillo were doing a pod, and Russillo was talking to some executives around the league, and some of the intel that he was getting from them suggested that this year's draft class, even it's not just us, the fans, it's the executives, it's the scouts that are saying this. Having the number 1 pick is like starting at number 8. It's like starting at number 9 this year. And then the question became, who's the best player that you could get for the number 1 pick in the draft this year? And Ryan was told, I don't know, like the 4th or 5th best guy on a good team. And Lou Dort was a name that got thrown out there. And he was like, yeah, basically him. So if I'm Detroit and it's like, yeah, we need shooters right now. Lou Dort shooting has gotten good because of what's the assistant coach's name? Chip England, I think. I don't know. Is there something there? Do you want the 5th pick for Lou Dort? Is that, or do you want stuff? You don't want, Buzelis. You want an actual guy who can already play, I assume.
I love that you
that's I think there's advantages. I know OKC's kind of philosophy with all these picks is like they can keep spinning the wheels and drafting guys and trying them out. If they don't work, whatever, they're on rookie contracts, we'll just draft another guy later. But I do think, especially this offseason, you need to just get real, like, proven guys, which is why I'm a little averse to getting another pick, especially when we have the 12th pick already. So, but I do like that idea of, like, yes, OKC using a player like Lou Dort to facilitate upgrades wherever they can be found, and then throwing like that 12 pick out there with Josh Giddey saying, hey, anyone want this? Come get it. We'll figure it out. I think that is enough. Like, I'm not even saying you have to move Lou Dort this offseason, but if teams are interested and they're offering value that can be used to facilitate getting meaningful upgrades, then yeah, absolutely. If you can get a better player, you should get a better player. Yeah.
Oh, right.
My bad.
What are you doing back there?
My bad. I clicked the wrong button.
You said turn me up. That's my job.
No, I wanted you to turn it down, actually.
Oh, okay. I'll turn it down.
Makes my situation worse.
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry. I thought of the question at the same time you made a noise.
Go on.
Alex, I've heard 2 different players rumored for OKC, and I'm curious what you think of both of them. I'm sure you've heard others besides me, but Brandon Ingram and Jarrett Allen
for OKC.
Yeah. Like the idea, I've seen people suggest like Chet at power forward, then you just have like crazy rim protection. You really have to rely on that 3 ball actually being consistent, because I think he sometimes is a little too hesitant in it. It's almost like I feel like I believe in Chet's jumper more than Chet believes in Chet's jumper sometimes.
Well, the problem is his release is slow.
Yeah, there's that. For what it's worth, Jarrett Allen has a good mid-range game. It's not the same as being a real floor spacer, but it's not nothing.
Do you want my opinion?
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon Ingram, no, I'm good. I like Brandon Ingram. I don't like Brandon Ingram on my team.
I agree.
I will enjoy Brandon Ingram from afar, is how I kind of look at that. Jarrett Allen, I would absolutely love Jarrett Allen. I will say with Jarrett Allen will and should make a lot of money this offseason. Like a lot of money. I think he's going to get like $25 million plus. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
Or he was under contract.
Or he might be on the trade trade block. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I think Jarrett Allen is probably a relatively expensive option for what is needed. I don't think OKC needs a Jarrett Allen, which is why I've thrown out names like Nick Richards.
Yeah,
like that's a guy that I think solves the problem. Isaiah Hartenstein is another example of like, yeah, he's not going to be as expensive as a Jarrett Allen, but he'll scratch the same itch that's needed.
I feel like isn't he making 20 mil?
Yeah.
You're not just talking actual contract value, you're also talking assets you have to give up. But I don't know. I just feel like OKC is like a rich man working his ass off to pay 2% less taxes. It's like, my guy, you're doing fine. Just pay it. Just give up some fucking picks for Jarrett Allen already. Grow up. That's how I feel.
Well,
like quit hoarding.
My whole thing is that they probably just don't. Jarrett Allen would be nice, but you don't need Jarrett Allen. I think the problems can be solved with less expensive players.
How would you feel if this offseason, or even say the 2025 trade deadline, if y'all made a move similar to what the Rockets did for Steven Adams, where you just kind of bundle in a bunch of scraps and a little bit of a contract to get just a big guy, even if let's say it is Steven Adams, would you be satisfied with that as like an effort to make the team better? Or is that
Steven Adams an NBA player right now?
I mean, he got injured.
He never plays.
He wasn't. He just kind of not that great before he was hurt. Like
What the fuck is happening? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Steven Adams is pretty good.
He was not washed.
Like, I'm not saying he's
arbitrary thing to lie about. Steven Adams is good at basketball.
Center. He's fine, but there are so many better options.
What a better team for an OK center than OKC? What the fuck?
Right, the return.
If he's your backup, it's perfectly fine. Okay, goddamn.
I just think a guy like Steven Adams
that was
can
some
serve
bars,
in the role, that you guys need, of just a big guy to set hard screens, get lots of rebounds. And it's like maybe not giving up Lou Dort for him, but give up like maybe Josh Giddey and a second-round pick for Steven Adams at the trade deadline. Like, I would be happy if I was you. If Steven Adams was healthy that season.
Nick Richards, guys. Nick Richards is all. We don't need Steven Adams.
Watching a lot of Nick Richards.
We just need Nick Richards. I'm telling you all. You heard it here first. If OKC gets Nick Richards, they're going to the finals next year. Like, write this down, put it in pen. They're going to the finals if they get Nick Richards. He's making $15 million a year over the next 3 years. He can rebound. He can defend. He can screen. He's a great lob threat. He's got a nice little hook shot. I'm telling you, Nick Richards is all they need, and a backup guard. Different discussion. We can cover that at a different time. Nick Richards.
You just got to find a way to sign Tyus Jones.
I haven't really been. I haven't been scouting Charlotte centers lately.
Did I hallucinate this, or did you make a Nick Richards video?
That'd be crazy.
I made a Mark Williams video. The other Hornets center.
That's where I'm getting my wires crossed. Overall, would you say that this season was a disappointment after like the expectations building throughout the season? Because going into the year, it was like, hey, everyone's kind of anticipating us being way better than I think we're going to be. And now we kind of surpassed those expectations that you said were already too high. Did your expectations shift throughout the season, or were you like ready to cope the whole time?
Oh, I've been ready to cope for a while.
Okay.
But I mean, it still exceeded expectations. Like, they were the first seed, but really I care more about playoff success than what seeds you are in the regular season, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that's surprising about what happened here. Like, that's kind of what we expected to happen. Most people are like, yeah, probably a competitive second round. And that's exactly what we got. That's chill. You take your lessons and you move forward, and they're a very young team and they have all the assets you could possibly ask for. I would still much rather be a Thunder fan than a Bulls fan, let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, should we move on to eulogizing one of these other round 2 exits? I realized after starting the stream that I neglected to put New York in the ticker here. I saw 3 teams. I was like, wait a minute. 4 teams got eliminated. Who did I forget about?
The way the Pacers won that series, it really seemed like the Knicks had some dead players. Like, they're actually not alive.
You got to rely on a Dante DiVincenzo 40-piece to make up for having no one else on the team, apparently. What should the Knicks do this offseason? We're not going to play the
Not a goddamn thing. They were without Jalen Brunson to close that game. They were without James Hart, Josh Hart the game before. They didn't have Julius Randle. They didn't have Mitchell Robinson. All their best fucking players, if they're not playing in this, like if they're playing, they're the best team in the East. They're the second best team in the East. Like they don't need to do anything. They're fine. They just got fucked in the end because and here's my question. Every time I blame this on Tibbs, Knicks fans in droves tell me it's not about Tibbs. It's just kind of the circumstance that these guys, they just get hurt. It just kind of happens. And I'm like,
if I may, I think it's kind of because this is the point in like the Thibs cycle where the fans are the highest and the hype is maximum. And then next season, when this happens again, is when they turn on him.
Sure. That makes sense.
What's weird is we've seen him go through that cycle back and forth on the Knicks. Like he's gone through this cycle.
He survived 2 Tibbs cycles on the
like
same
I
team.
was like 2 years ago, I was like Tibbs is fucking gone. Or like a year ago, it was like Tibbs is gone, and then
when he won Coach of the Year, we were like, "Fuck this guy!"
It's like Tibbs is fucking back as fuck. Like what the hell?
my hardest zag on the whole. I don't think they should do anything, but my hardest zag would be to realize Leon Rose locks himself in a room and does like a darkness retreat and takes a bunch of like peyote and like smokes a bunch of Ritalin and shit like that, and it's kind of like, wait, he's like, we don't even need Julius Randle. Like, we don't need him. I'm waiting for that realization. Like, send his ass to like Charlotte or something and get like stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
Get Lou Dort.
There you go.
No, I don't think OKC wants Julius Randle.
Julius Randle can rebound. Say what you will. The man can get some
his
boards.
Own misses. Yeah. I feel like what New York does is they shop Julius, but if they do not see like a very good reason to pull the trigger, they're just going to run it back, and that's the right way to go. Maybe a little bit more depth just to make up for the fact, so you don't have to play guys 40 minutes a game in the regular season. Like people are saying, like they're playing the minutes because they don't have the players, but no other player in the entire league was playing 42 minutes a game for the second half of an entire season like Josh Hart was. Like that's not normal. It objectively is not.
Randall for Kuz, who says no? Straight up. I don't care about contracts.
From a fit perspective, I feel like, I mean, his 3-ball, if it was, I feel like Kuzma's one of those, like, seems like he's better than he actually is shooters, like in that PJ Washington territory. But then also he can hit those shots technically, as some of us may know.
Hello, this is the Wizards GM speaking.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole.
Jacob, you're Leon Rose. Pick up the phone.
Leon,
pick up the phone. I have an
Rose
offer.
is who again? Sorry.
The Knicks.
What? Yeah. Yes.
I'll give you my power forward for your power forward. Straight up. We'll go dark money and make it work. I'll sign someone and trade them to you. That adds up the difference. I'll give you draft picks that don't exist. Whatever has to happen.
Do you have Tyus Jones?
No, I can't. I can't bundle Tyus Jones into deals with other players because he's a free agent, and I'd have to
pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. No,
Tyus Jones. I want fucking Tyus Jones.
I got a bidding war on Tyus Jones.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Oh man, it's good to be back, boys.
Good to be back. This is what podcasting is for. Pretending to be on the phone. What is a podcast but a glorified phone call?
All right, are we going to talk about the Nuggets or what?
I want to stay pat on the Knicks just a little bit. So, are we all in agreement that they don't need to do much except maybe shop Julius Randle?
Yeah.
If they're going to shop Julius Randle, is it for any particular type of player? You think I would know as the resident Knicks fan this season, but I don't. So
I would say ideally a floor spacing bruiser of some kind, which is kind of like
if Julius Randle makes his shots.
If Julius Randle like was just a catch and shoot guy instead of like taking isolation mid-range shots all the time or threes that he has no business taking, things like that.
Lou Dort
wouldn't be the worst. Lou Dort is like that archetype of player. I think would be cool. Like I liked the lineup of DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG at power forward. Excuse me. I would even theoretically go with. Sorry, you got to burp sometimes.
Gotta burp.
I don't know. Maybe you would even do like just like absolutely juice the fuck out of your bench for trading Julius and then just go with that starting lineup because I do like that starting lineup a lot. But yeah, again, just go do this again. Do it again. That's all that I care about. That's all you should do. Really worry about.
Run it back.
Mm-hmm. All right, can we talk about Denver now?
I know y'all are dying to talk Jokic because Loki. This is a pro Jokic podcast, so for him to get eliminated in the second round, to Luka, I'm just joshing. But Jacob, I do know that you had a very particular.
I have a very bold take about what Denver needs to do to fix this team. I think they should trade everything that's not their starting lineup. And that means all of their, like, Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, Zeke Naji, Julian Strother, Reggie Jackson for the sake of getting that salary in there, plus like he's maybe alive based on this year. I think you can, if all of that combines like $24 million, you throw in the 2031 pick that they're allowed to trade plus some second round picks. I think you can get 2, probably even 3 genuine playoff rotation players, and then you have an 8-man lineup for the postseason. Because I think their bench, which is what a lot of people said would be their undoing, was exactly that. Because when push came to shove, they had a bunch of guys they had to put in the game that they did not really feel great about. Christian Brown had good moments. Peyton Watson, it was pretty obvious he's not ready. He's had a crazy amount of development in a very short amount of time. So if I were them, I would probably like wait until the regular season to like see if, given that they're young, like any of those guys are going to take some kind of leap. But otherwise, I don't think they're like a good enough type of young player, or like their potential is so high that you should sit there and wait that out, especially with Wemby lurking in the future. Like, if theoretically your championship window is the next couple of years, I would much rather just juice the fuck out of that bench than sit there and wait and see if Christian Brown and Peyton Watson can learn how to make a wide open 3.
Oh, wow, right on time. I'm trying to construct some sort of reasonable trade.
Any takes on that?
You know who they could really use? Is like a Monte Morris or like a Bruce Brown type.
Maybe a Jeff Green.
Those would really.
Dare I say Jeff Green?
I don't know. I don't know about all that, but
Jeff Green was like the perfect 10-minute per game guy for them. Like, truly, he plays 3 minutes and 2 quarters, and you're happy.
Yeah. I would be curious, like some names, because putting a trade together with that, like,
so my initial one, I know this is funny, but Tyus Jones, and Kyle Kuzma was one I thought of, which would be great. Alex Caruso, Andre Drummond, and Javonte Green. Think about how good Javonte Green would be in Denver. Are you fucking kidding me? How good he'd play.
I like that.
I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if the Nuggets went out there and got Chris Paul and Andre Drummond?
What if they did, Alex?
Yeah, what if they
did?
Wait,
my
Chris
thinking
Paul
is
free
this.
Agent?
Is he? So. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's actually that'd be
I'm just trying to find stuff to talk about. So my whole thing with that is you get a pick and roll ball handler and you get Andre Drummond, a rim running big. That's offense straight out of the box. Okay. And the whole thing is like the non-Jokic minutes, the non-Murray minutes. That's where the Nuggets mostly the non-Jokic minutes. That's when the Nuggets really struggle. But you get a ball handling guard that can drive and pass in the pick and roll, and you get Andre Drummond, or an Andre Drummond type that can just set screens and roll to the basket. That gives you something to work with and base your bench offense off of. That's kind of the problem I've noticed with Denver's bench offense is it's just like it's Jamal Murray isolating and everyone else just kind of standing there waiting for something to happen.
Bring. This is the Washington Wizards calling the Denver Nuggets GM, whose name escapes me because the guy I know works for the Bulls now. Bring. Who's going to pick
Jacob,
up the phone?
This is your baby,
Who's
so you got to pick up the phone.
Jacob, you got it.
Hello, nameless Nuggets GM.
My name's Jacob.
Hello, Jacob, the Nuggets GM.
Calvin Booth is his
I have a proposition for you. Oh, Calvin Booth. Hello, Calvin. I have one gently used Kyle Kuzma for you.
Any relation to John Wilkes? No, anyways.
Ridiculous.
Sorry.
All right, back to the phone call. I have one gently used Kyle Kuzma, but he makes a lot of money, so I'm going to need a lot in return. I need Zeke Najee, Reggie Jackson, Christian Brown, Julian Strother, and Peyton Watson, all for Kyle Kuzma.
I want more than just Kyle Kuzma.
That's all you can afford because he's real expensive and gonna match this money just right.
I'm pretty sure he makes $20 million.
23, yeah. You ain't got a lot of players that you can get rid of off your bench that make a lot of money to put together with this.
Yeah, I would have to find something else that's just not going to be enough. I mean, maybe if I think I have like some sort of free agent lined up, if I can get Kuzma and then like somebody else, because I want at least a strong 7-man rotation as the outcome out of all of this. And I would rather have 2 good role players than one really good one and nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more concerned about bodies than I am how good one individual player is. I just need guys who can play in the rotation.
Chris Paul is still owed $30 million.
No, it's non-guaranteed.
Oh, it's non-guaranteed? But yeah, okay. Well,
yeah.
Cool. Good for him.
What the fuck is Chris Paul doing TV? Why the fuck is he on TV now? I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
shit.
He's irrelevant. You don't give a fuck about you anymore, Chris.
And it's not even about like, oh, what does Chris Paul know? He's probably a fucking genius. Not probably. He is. I don't need to see him on motherfucking TV. Okay, just because you were good at the sport doesn't mean you're good at communicating the sport into a microphone on camera.
What?
Huh?
I thought you were talking about the commercials, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, this whole time I've just pictured.
I was like,
he's in studio.
A star? Like, who gives a shit
he's
about
in
Chris
studio,
Paul?
like doing pregame. He's doing halftime. He's doing postgame. Get this fucker off of my TV. I don't want to hear from him. He's an asshole. I hardly want to hear from Draymond on TNT. To be completely honest with you, I don't want to hear from JJ. I want to hear from Richard Jefferson, Bob Myers, and nobody else. Everybody else, get the fuck off of my TV.
And Jamal Crawford.
Bob Myers is great.
Oh my God, no,
I don't like Jamal Crawford's commentary much at all.
It's
Twitter
like
loves
everything.
I don't know why.
He's been so good.
It's been a mixed bag. I think it's dependent entirely on
That's exactly how you feel about
Jamal Crawford is a mixed bag. But I think that literally, like, it would depend entirely on who he was with, because there were ones where he was great and ones where he was just bad. And him and the guy he was with had no chemistry, and like it came up multiple times. It's fine. He's new to it. Maybe he can get good at it, but
oh, I think he's already good.
I think there's an interesting
a lot of praise.
I know.
I think rightfully so.
This is my unpopular take.
I think he provides valuable insight. Sorry, Nick. Continue.
There's an interesting phenomenon happening in our culture where my culture is being infringed upon by motherfuckers who actually lived it. And because there's so much money in TV, and especially now with this TV deal that's about to go through, do you guys know that by 2029, motherfuckers will be eligible? Somebody will be eligible to make $100 million in a single, $96 million in a single season with where the Supermax is going to be. Cooper Flagg is going to be a motherfucking billionaire by the time he's 26.
We're catching up with baseball.
You're like, what? You're like, huh? And so when I see all of these former players getting into television and getting into broadcasting, because that's not new. Like, dudes have always done that, but they're doing it more than they've done before because that's where the money is. That's where the spotlight is talking into a goddamn microphone. So motherfuckers like me who actually want to be up there for the love of the game, for the love of broadcasting, fuck the game. Fuck the game. I'm here to broadcast, son. I'm here to talk into this damn microphone. I could talk about anything, right? Those chairs are being taken away from guys like me and going to the motherfucking JJ Redicks of the world. And I think this is egregious, and fuck it. I hate it.
Yeah, totally
Welcome
valid
back,
take.
Nick. Welcome back.
No, I agree that it's like that's the that's what you jump to. It's easily the best post NBA career available to them, because you don't actually, like, especially if you're just a talent who's on camera just talking, whether it's commentary or otherwise. It's like, yeah, just go up there and be yourself for a couple of hours a day.
I think I'd much
That's
rather
pretty
be
reasonable.
A real estate agent.
Rather by comparison to like being a coach or whatever, that's your post-career way of being attached to it. That has more stressors to it. I'd rather just make a couple $1 million a year yapping into a microphone and keep on chugging. I understand why they do it. But I do feel like there are too many players who have a podcast for the sake of having a podcast and not because they have any interest in saying anything.
No disrespect to Tyrese Maxey, but who's listening to the Tyrese Maxey podcast?
I didn't even know he had one.
Sixers fans, I guess.
Like, I think like Jeff Teague, like that guy was born to podcast.
For sure. Like
there are cases like that, but a lot of them is just like, well, this is a former NBA player, so they're inherently going to be interesting and know how to convey points.
Not to mention, Jeff Teague's brand has been much larger as a podcaster in a very short amount of time than he ever was as a player.
I don't think I heard his fucking voice. I don't think I heard that man's voice until he was on a podcast. And he was in the NBA for my entire time watching for so long, and I've never heard that dude's voice. I had no idea it was funny.
He's a generational storyteller. He's awesome. We are at a point in podcasts have been around for like a little less than 20 years, like in a pretty major way. In a very major way, they've been around for like 8, right? And I would say in the last 4 is when people got smart, because the market got so saturated that any motherfucker who had a microphone and an internet connection could upload a podcast, right? And you saw these Spotify deals that motherfuckers would do for like 10 episode runs. You do 1 season, do you get renewed? You get $5 million to do 10 fucking episodes. Fucking Meghan Markle, what the fuck was that podcast all about? And like we've evolved to a point where people's attention is so valuable. It's a podcast. Okay. You're trapped with that audio for 45 an hour, whatever it is, right? You cannot just be a famous person anymore. You actually have to have something to say. You have to be able to communicate your points, and you have to, more than anything, be consistent and actually stay on a motherfucking schedule. And people, it's lost on people. They think you can just fucking pick up a microphone just because I have name recognitions. I have a pre-existing brand. That means people will flock by the thousands to listen to me. They fucking won't. Fuck you.
It's great to have you back, Nick. Yeah,
we
good.
did not
You're right.
have any of this energy. We needed it so bad.
Yeah, I get it. I get the
playoffs.
I get taking like the easy approach to it and just being like, yeah, I'll just cash in this check real quick. And if it's not that consistent, oh, well, I don't really give a shit. But, also for what it's worth, a lot of these people are getting pushed by like publicists and shit to make it because it's going to make them a bunch of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's selfishly for them. It's, of course, it's a great business decision or whatever. The problem I have is less like with players doing it per se. It's more so like with the condition of the industry that leads to that sort of thing. For me, my like headcanon of sports media in this is Alex. is there thunder?
Did you hear that?
You scared? No.
I'll be right back.
All right, Alex got to go check on something. I mean, take his little camera off the stream for a second. But what I was saying is that I feel like a lot of the time the problem might be less about the players and more about the state of the industry. Because at a certain point, probably like 10, 15-ish years ago, I feel like SportsCenter, ESPN, that cultural moment of it peaking started to decline. And Disney or whoever the fuck kind of started freaking out, trying to figure out how to rework like their position in the market into a place that's going in the direction it needs to. And they saw people in our space where it's like personality driven. They're coming to watch some dude talking to a camera who's just charming in a bedroom that happens to be talking about sports, rather than coming to like a centralized information resource, right? And so they tried to put personalities on their networks, right? And some people just really don't fuck with like Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman or whoever the fuck is like their guy that says the same shit over and over again, because they don't want to hear the same shit over and over again. They want to like who they're watching on screen. So they get these big branded name players who people already like, and that's the personality. That's the charm that they were missing compared to the alternate media market where it's more personality driven, so they can just pay players and be like, yeah, all right, we got this guy's personality who already has a lot of brand recognition.
Yeah,
and
well, I
the
think
work's done.
I think it's almost like ESPN wants their analysts themselves to be the stars rather
But
than
they can't.
rather than the sport itself being the star, the sport itself being celebrated. It's like, well, if we make Stephen A. Smith a big name, we make whoever a big name, then people will come click for them. And it's like, people are mostly going to come click because they're going to watch your shit for what you're talking about. So if you're just like 24/7 news cycle, we got this guy yapping constantly.
Fucking Buckaroo in the chat said, I'm turning this off, bro. Why'd you have to tell us? Just stay. Or
we did get pretty off topic.
Yeah, we went for a while.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
What
with
does that
it,
even
No,
mean?
that's
It's our
podcast.
podcast. It's
Yes,
our
it is.
podcast. We can
It
talk
is
about
our
whatever the fuck we
podcast.
want.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I guess before we get into the rest of the previews, or rather, like, not quite eulogies, but wrapping up what these other two teams in the playoffs are. We've only got one team left, right? Because we went through the Knicks, the Nuggets, and
the
OKC.
Cavs.
Yeah, let's just do the
Yeah.
Cavs before we get into the super chats. Let's keep the original order in plan.
What do you even do? I guess Evan Mobley stays and everybody goes. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. Do you keep
Well,
Darius?
can we
Is he young enough?
Can we start with Bickerstaff? Because my question is, why did they wait as long as they did? And then my second question is, like, who out there is better right now? Like, do they want D'Antoni? I saw Kenny Atkinson and like James Borrego were thrown around.
Oh, wow. That's fresh news. I missed that one. That's from
Yeah, so
today.
did
I
I.
had no
I didn't
idea
know
JB
that.
Bickerstaff got fired until right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for breaking the news, Nick, keeping us in line. Yeah, I don't know who the better coach is because Budenholzer's taken up. Who's the other good available coach?
That's what
I
I'm.
mean, there's always like one on the horizon, but we don't know those guys.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Is like Bud just got scooped. You know what I mean? And so unless you're looking at like, I don't like I said, James Borrego's name being thrown around blew my fucking head off.
Yeah,
And
not a good coach, I don't think.
And then like the Kenny Atkinson thing is has Kenny Atkinson's name morphed narratively. It's like transformed almost into like, you guys remember that like 4 or 5 year period? Every time May through like the middle of June would roll around.
Mark
Team
Jackson.
X has requested permission to, I say permission, but they've requested an interview to see if Jeff Van Gundy wants to be their head coach, if Mark Jackson wants to be their head coach. Every fucking
Yeah,
year it
Mark.
would be those two.
Always Mark.
Is Kenny Atkinson, his motherfucking ass, kind of venturing into that territory where we keep kind of hearing that these teams are like, what's going on with Kenny Atkinson? And then nobody hires him. Is Cleveland finally going to do it?
I think it's because
this.
It's like the trading Miles Turner of DM or of coaches.
Perfect. Exactly.
I feel like if I remember correctly, feel like I saw a tweet a bajillion years ago / like 3 months ago, whichever, where it was basically reporting that though Kenny Atkinson is always name dropped in these head coaching searches, he basically just says no every time. Like he goes and fields the offer and is like, yeah, I think I'm happy in San Francisco or whatever,
Yeah.
I think he's still with the Warriors, but I think ultimately he's just like, I'd rather just not be famous and continue to develop these players and make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, not have to answer to the media. Like, I think he just doesn't want to be a head coach.
It's a better job than being the coach, frankly. As long as you're like not worried about the.
He's gonna need that
extra big
Monty
payday.
Williams money in order to be enticed, as far as I
Right.
understand.
I mean, until it's Jacob, you say it's better to be the assistant coach until your head coach fucking blows his knee out, and now the assistant coach has got to wheel his ass up there and stand
Sure,
and fucking
but
tool
what
around
an
and walk
extreme
around.
Respect Mike
circumstance
Authority.
that is.
And here's my thing, Rudy. If we want to think about this, let's think about this. Let's get in the weeds. Okay. Where is Kenny Atkinson right now? Physically, where is he? He's in the Bay Area, aka Silicon Valley.
Where's Kenny Atkinson?
Can we
Smart.
be certain? Can we be certain that Kenny Atkinson doesn't want to keep this job because he's in the pockets of all these tech giants? right? And so he's doing some insider trading bullshit. He's he's where all the money is, all these geniuses and shit on the precipice of all this cutting edge technology. You think it's a coincidence that Steph Curry wants to stick around in Golden State his entire career? It's because that's where all the money is. You think there's a coincidence why he hates poor people? It's because he spent all this time hanging around the lizards in Silicon Valley. There's a trend here. So I'm just hypothesizing that maybe Kenny Atkinson doesn't want to be a head coach because the money is in Silicon Valley.
There's like a VC tech bro vacuum in Golden State.
I think it's possible he just like wants his work-life balance and like not to
implausible. It's my thing.
Okay, Shizzle Bizzle says Kenny Atkinson is living in my walls. Please let him out.
He should probably take the job then, because that sounds like a poor living situation.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess aside from maybe hiring Kenny Atkinson for $100 billion,
dude, Donovan Mitchell's so gone. It seems
future Grizzly Donovan Mitchell. I want to put this forth on the podcast. I mentioned this to you, Jacob, in passing this week, but a good friend of mine who's a Denver Nuggets fan said that for years they've been advocating for a Jamal Murray for Donovan Mitchell swap, and if it was ever going to happen, now is the time. You want to talk about the future of the Nuggets and the Cavs?
Well,
that's a great, tandem.
Had both. That's what's funny is they could have had both. They fucking drafted him and then traded him.
Right. What do we think about that? I mean, I think it raises Denver's ceiling a little bit and gives.
I think it also makes them a better regular season team because Donovan Mitchell doesn't do the whole, I'm actually just a 20-point scorer in the regular season thing. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm still getting buckets all the time. But also, I don't know, the chemistry between Jamal and, I don't know, I feel like Donovan Mitchell, it's hard to say. His playmaking got so much better this year. Remarkable how much better it got better this year. Yeah. But also, does that mean he's going to have good chemistry with Jokic in the way that Jamal does? I don't know. I think Alex, we talked about last time about like the limitations Jamal has as a passer to some degree. I think Donovan's got pretty similar limitations, so it probably would be fine. I feel like Jamal would be a weird player to build around. Like, is Cleveland really feeling that?
I want to address something that you said. I personally think that Donovan Mitchell is like overwhelmingly a better passer than Jamal Murray by like leaps.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. I think Donovan Mitchell has developed into like a very, very, very good passer for a two guard. I think he can basically be a point guard at this point.
Would you say that he's a shooting guard that's being forced to play point guard yet again? This just keeps happening. I even feel like Anthony Edwards is going to be a point guard in like 2 years when Mike Conley retires. Like, I don't think they're going to look for another point guard after that because Conley's just a catch and shoot guy for the most part. He does a little bit of creating in the pick and roll and shit like that. But, Ant is ostensibly, like, in terms of just the role, he is the point guard of the team.
Yeah, he needs to learn to pass out of double teams. They need to lock him in a gym and have him pass out of traps, but different pods.
Jacob, do you hate Ant because he can't pass out of a double team, parentheses Joel Embiid?
I don't hate Joel Embiid.
Right, but the comments think you do.
Yeah.
Therefore you do.
No, I also hate Nikola Jokic now, as it turns out. That's what the new narrative on the street is.
I put a question mark in the title.
I did! I put fraud question mark, and they're like, why are you calling him a fraud? I'm not! I'm just using the word to get you to click on the video, and you did, so thank you.
Yeah. I do think that it's a good trade for both teams. If we were to do the phone bit right now, I think we both just say yes. Donovan Mitchell for Jamal Murray straight up. Make it happen.
No. If I'm Cleveland, I say no. Donovan Mitchell is like overwhelmingly better than Jamal Murray. Yes, Donovan Mitchell.
Well, isn't it like a foregone conclusion that he's leaving?
Right, but isn't this like you're going to trade him, so do it type situation?
I think they would trade Donovan Mitchell for something. Surely they would get a better deal than Jamal Murray. Damn. No disrespect. I love Jamal Murray. I think Donovan Mitchell is way better.
I mean, he was playing at an MVP caliber this season. We said it multiple times on this podcast.
I don't disagree, but it's not about being better than Mitchell. It's about being better than the other trade packages.
I think somebody else would offer a better trade package.
I think it's possible to package multiple players, but I think that's the best player you could get in return.
Right. Is it just an
individual
player? You're probably not getting better. At least not, currently. Maybe somebody who eventually could be.
So
yeah,
go on.
I just got one thing on Donovan Mitchell, Rudy. This is a podcast where we tell on ourselves whenever we see it fit, whenever it's appropriate. It's time, it's good to put a hand up sometimes and reflect on yourself. And for me, that was the Magic series when I realized I'm prone to forgetting how good Donovan Mitchell is when I don't watch him for an extended period of time. And then you watch him for one game and you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is it this guy like everything, all of it? He hits everything. He gets to his spots, even if he doesn't. I have a thing. While I was watching the Dallas game last night, the mental exercise I was doing is I was watching Kyrie go. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'll bring it back to Donovan Mitchell. I'm watching Kyrie and he's doing some voodoo shit in the first half. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I've ever been alive for a player who gives me the audible reaction of, oh, tough shot, as much like per capita, as much as Kyrie does. But I would put Donovan Mitchell up there too. Because I don't know, I'm sure there's a metric that indicates like how good a shot was. I don't know how to articulate what I'm saying, but like, he takes some fucking tough shots. And like Jacob, you said, they just all go in. And in that Magic series, I was able to watch a few of the games. And every single game, I was like, what the fuck? How isn't this guy like on top of the world?
He's 6 feet tall. That's how.
Sure.
That's why. If Donovan Mitchell was 6'6", the league would be very different, I think.
So this is a natural plug, but it fits what we're talking about. Matt and I did an episode on the Media Pass that was literally like the whole episode was who is better between Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker. And we literally went like skill by skill, literally every single aspect of their game and like parsed through like who's better at what and like what we value more between each of the guys. And like all I'm saying is, people talk about Devin Booker a certain way and people need to talk about Donovan Mitchell the same way that they talk about Devin Booker. And like that episode was fascinating just because of like all the stuff we figured out about the two, like narrative wise and like the difference between what actuality is and what like the narrative says it is. So yeah, Donovan Mitchell is still somehow underrated, even though he's consistently like people had him as an MVP candidate this year, which I agree.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Donovan Mitchell has accomplished a little bit more, and he doesn't have that famous little gaffe that Devin Booker has a few years ago in the offseason where he was caught on tape rejecting double teams in practice. So you would think with those two things that Donovan Mitchell would be a little bit more popular, a little bit less underrated, but alas, Devin Booker remains the more talked about guy, the guy in the conversation of, oh yeah, he's the best two guard in the league, or him or Ant, but Donovan Mitchell gets left out of that all the time. I mean, if Ant wasn't such a two-way beast right now, I think you could have a conversation about Donovan Mitchell being in that conversation. But Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell are both not the defender that Anthony Edwards seems to be at the moment, at least. So got to be Ant to me.
Sounded like he's pulling a trick or something. I think he's just good at defense is the thing.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, defensive value can fluctuate a lot. Look at DeJounte Murray, Let's get into these super chats. Richie Miller commented really early on in the stream, gave us $5. Appreciate the donation. Say, congrats, Nick. Applause. In honor of Nick's child, who are the new versions of our old stars? Like Luka being the new LeBron, Tatum being the new Melo. It's dumb, but it's fun. Do we have any new faces, old vibes?
Let's do the Melo one. Let's just try to do that one. Because I think I'm the only one on this.
I don't think his archetype it exists anymore. No, not really. Like guy who's just a scorer for real, like a forward who just gets buckets. Like I don't not
Brandon
like
Ingram.
But Brandon Ingram's a good passer. Like he's a capable defender at least. Like he just has more of an all around game, and he's also much worse of a scorer than a Pete Carmelo Anthony was.
It's not the same position. Jordan Poole.
Oh my God.
What? I'm asking a question. I'm asking for input.
No, definitely not. No.
And
why?
He's not
because
forward.
Jordan Poole's terrible. I think
is
Carmelo
terrible,
Anthony
but
was still good.
But
are we just going vibes? Are we going actual
I'm not talking about
skill?
Jordan Poole being one of the top. I don't know where Carmelo finished in like the scoring, but a top 30 scorer of all time. I'm not saying that that's what Jordan Poole is going to be, but I'm just saying a guy who goes out there, wants to put up 20 shots a game, and that's all he wants to do.
Yeah, I was thinking.
That's probably Jordan Poole.
It's Jordan Poole.
It's Jordan Poole.
Great.
I definitely think Ja Morant is like the modern NBA's Allen Iverson. Said that a few times, just like undersized, aggressive scorer, a little bit more
loves
modern,
guns.
like a skill set, loves guns.
Tatum is Paul Pierce. We've discussed this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was someone's hot take, I think.
It's Celtics forward who's like always like the 6th to 8th best player in the NBA, and it's like cool, but it's also like who gives a fuck and fuck Boston.
Darius Garland used to have a lot of like Steve Nash. I think he still does, but when he was like having that season where he was an all-star and he was shooting out of his mind, like especially on pull-ups, definitely had like tons of Steve Nash. Maybe not as much anymore, but
have you guys heard that Anthony Edwards kind of plays like Michael Jordan?
This is the first time hearing of this.
Whoa. I don't know. Is Josh Giddey the new Ronaldo Balkman? There we go. Jesus. Do y'all think Giddey threw in the playoffs so he could go to Cancun early? Thank you, Manning Lemoine, for your $5. No,
you're not going to read the rest of it.
No way. And then Kajita 9000 gave us $2. Frequent chatter, appreciate you, Kajita. So, do you think the Wolves will win the series after?
Well,
let's
use some fucking math here. Okay, let's turn our brains on. After one game, what's the series at right now?
1-0.
Calculating.
Dallas is on pace to win 4 games. Minnesota's on pace to win 0. Dallas wins. There you go. So no, Minnesota can't win anymore.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Fuck.
That was like watching what's Torian Prince describe rebounding.
You go up on the you know what's funny is I remember like I was pearl clutching so hard when that happened in real time, because at the time I was convinced that I was going to be like a reporter in some capacity. And so I was really offended, even though it was a fucking dumb question in retrospect. But as like, I was like 15 at the time. So I was like really like all fired up. And I was like, Torian Prince is a fucking asshole for that, for being mean to the reporter. Now I can look back and I was like, that was the funny. Also, I hated Baylor, but now I can look back. I was like, oh shit is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to the guy, Torian Prince.
It's hilarious because of the earnestness. He's not even like, you fucking idiot. He's like, so here's what a rebound is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't be laughing.
Always got to keep that Torian Prince clip on deck.
What the fuck was that?
You were not here for that one, Nick, but Torian Prince, following being eliminated from the playoffs in the post-game presser, there was some feedback on the microphone, which everyone just heard. Torian Prince just starts laughing and says, I probably shouldn't be laughing because they just got eliminated from the playoffs.
Because everyone knows if you lose in basketball, you have to perpetually be super depressed.
Right. Like, what the fuck?
That's the rule.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I guess.
No, people get mad like if a player smiles on the
No, dude, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Right,
I'm saying like what the fuck? Like I guess. Okay.
To me, these two clips have the same energy except for one of the guys lost and the other guy won.
And now you are an NBA champion, Nicola. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
Congratulations, Mike.
You know, it's one of those guys won. That's it.
When they ask him like, "Oh, are you excited for the parade?" and he's like, "When is the fucking? I want to go home, man!" Like he was so inconvenienced by that shit.
Right. He had to say at the parade, like, you know what? I'm happy I actually showed up to this. This was a good decision.
They should have let him instead of making him go on the bus. They should have just let him be in like a horse carriage behind the championship parade. You guys know what I feel like he would have felt better about it then. You know what I mean? And also it would have been, I don't know, it would have been, I feel like it would have cultured a lot of the Denverites. What are they called? What do you think they're called? Denverites?
Denveridians.
Denver. Oh my God, there's no Devons.
If we have another chat, you can read it. Devins? I'll look it up.
They're Devons? They're the Devies.
Oh, someone's coming to come get someone. I hear sirens.
Yeah, that's me. It doesn't say for Denver, but Coloradan is just what you refer to Colorado citizens.
Denverites. Somebody already say that? I don't know.
That was the first one.
Oh, okay.
All right.
My fault, OG.
Fellas, Naz Reid?
Naz Reid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Naz Reid?
Naz Reid.
Nick? Naz Reid?
Yeah.